pad of hole number 10. Hole number 10 is a little over 80 meters of rock going uphill to a basket that is on top of that hill with a very fast green going all over. The most safe place for these players to land is on the other side of the basket, so far from the basket, because there the ground is the most even one and the risk of rollaways is the smallest. The gallery is not allowed to come here to these 2-3 tight holes just to make room for the players, but we are fortunate enough to be able to follow the players closely and give you this live coverage.
Oh, earned it later.
So welcome back. We're here now at hole 10, looking at 80 meters uphill, 250 feet or so. Say 280 feet, a little shy of 300, somewhere along those lines. This time, and it looks like Eagle is first on the tee. Eagle goes sidearm through the left gap. He skips from just underneath the basket to that level spot I was referring to earlier. He should be.
We can try to make the same noise.
Eagle should be inside circle 1 with that drive. Leo up next. Leo throws a putter backhand shot through the middle gap. He does not get the fade until he clips a tree, gets a nice kick back towards the fairway. He's just about circle's edge. Eirick chooses to go with that same sidearm route. He gets a slightly longer lateral skip. The shot looked really good out of his hand, but he skips a bit to the right. Simon goes fast with an Anheuser putter line. He clips the top of that one tree, falls at the foot of that hill, so he will still have about 45 meters to go to the basket.
See what happened to this? Did you sit on it? I don't know what happened. You want to wash it back?
We're approaching Simon's lie. So Simon is 35 meters, 40 meters away from the basket. He can see the top of the basket from here. He tries an Anheuser putt and lands just to the edge of the basket, or to the foot of the basket. He should only have about 1 or 2 meters left to clear his par here on hole 10. So Simon already cleared up with a tap in. He was so close to the basket. So the next one to go looks to be Leo Piironen. He is just outside circle 1. Looking at the basket between those 2 pine trees. Leo hits the cage, but he cannot get it in, unfortunately, from that spot. He'll also have to settle for 3. Eirick Oakley up next, from just about circle's edge on the right side of the basket. He is inside the circle, but just on the edge of it. He should have a look at the basket from there. He is denied by the top band. That was so close. Now Eagle has a chance to increase his lead over Eirick by another stroke if he can capitalize on this about 6-meter putt ahead of him.
Yeah, you go.
That was a very nice putt. He'll increase his advantage by 1 stroke over the entire card. Everybody is tapping in, cleaning up their pars with Leo Piironen left to go from 5 meters out. Leo looks calm and collected and easily putts in for his par here on hole number 10. So Eagle McMahon with the lone birdie on hole 10 as we move to hole 11. Remember that you can check out the live scores, not only for the lead card, but for the other cards, the chase card, third card, and so on, by going to udisclive.com to check out the play-by-play scoring, as well as our leaderboard from there. Hole number 11 is a downhill hole, about 100 meters long, where there is a mandatory on the right side of the fairway, a valley between the tee pad and the basket, where the basket is to the right side edge, of the fairway, sitting on a rocky hill. This is the hole where Seppo Paju had a little difficulty last year. So it's a fairly straightforward hole, but there's danger on the green because the risk of roll away is very real on that one. Eagle is up on the box, lining up a sidearm shot. Eagle fires it high up in the air, the left side, waiting for it to come down. But he finds himself at the bottom of that valley with about 30 meters left to go to the basket. But he should have an unobstructed look at the basket up on that hill. Leo Piironen is up next. Leo fires in another sidearm. That looks to be the perfect line for this hole as long as it fights through those trees. It does, and he should find himself inside circle 1 for a putt for birdie. Eirick Oakley next. Eirick with another sidearm. He takes a slightly tighter line. It doesn't have to fight through, it's going. And it lands right on top of that hillside. We could not see if it skipped or not, but that looked to be really good from the tee. Simon's sidearm goes high over those trees. Let's see if it can penetrate. And he can. He finds himself very close to Eagle's Lie at the bottom of this valley. They're both looking at about 20 to 30 meter putts uphill towards the basket, but it should still be a doable 2 for our players here on the lead card of the MPO division here at Tyyni 2019, presented by Latitude 64. It feels kind of weird following our lead card now without the gallery and without the weights, but fortunately for us this will speed up play quite a bit because we don't have to wait, and also safety is the key issue, especially here on the wooded courses where the tree kicks can cause the discs to fly to various places. So the players are now sizing up where they are, who's gonna go first, and also they're checking out the speed of that green, as we already talked about. Eagle is up first from 15 meters. He decides to lay up. Smart play by Eagle McMahon. He's right underneath the basket for an easy tap-in 3 on this hole. It seems Eirick has skipped long of the basket, and Simon is inside the circle, low left side of the basket. We're vying for position here, trying to get a good look at our lead card players to see what they're doing, to see the putts they are left with. Eirick is looking at the green, pondering about the risks and rewards included in this attempt. He is outside, just outside circle 1, and he does exactly as Eagle does and lays up on top of that hill. The players are very well aware of what can happen. Leo decides to lay up as well. He has about 3 meters left after that. Simon draws metal on the right side, but he stays on top. That was a very good birdie attempt. He could not take that one though. And he's left with a comeback from just underneath the first plateau with about 6 meters or so left. This is Simon for 3, easy job. He takes a good par here on this hole after that putt attempt for a birdie 2. The rest of our lead card is cleaning up. Leo, no problem, easy 3. Eagle does the same. And finally, Eirick taps in for his par 3 here on hole number 11 at Sibbe Disc Golf Course in Sipoo, Finland.
Of course. That's why I was like, oh God.
We're almost 2/3 through the final round of the MPO lead card action here on final round of the Dynamic Discs Tyyni 2019. Remember, you can always check out the scores, not only of this card, but also the chase card, third card, and so on by logging on or just taking your favorite internet browser, writing udisclive.com, and then checking out the action. Play by play, hole by hole, that is where it's found. Go there and check. There is a tight race going on at the top of the leaderboard currently, with at least 8 players within less than 5 strokes of each other. Eagle is first up on the tee. He fires a towering turnover shot. He just catches one tree at the end of that fairway, and he is very well, must be closer than Circle 1's edge. That is beautiful on this par 4, 155 meter par 4, which is the hole number 12 here at Simbe. Leo is looking to follow suit. Leo throws in a very similar looking line, slightly lower. That is looking excellent. Also from here he doesn't catch, well, he does catch the final tree, but he's still only about 20 meters away from the basket on the left side. Eirick Oakley up next. Eirick goes sidearm. He takes that same gap. He is going a little straighter than he wanted, but that penetrates through. He is in the middle of the fairway with about 40 meters to go. Simon throws in a backhand turnover shot as well, but he does not get it turned over enough and finds himself stuck on the left side of that fairway with still about 70 meters or so to go to the pin.
Siellä se ehkä voisi olla tavallaan tietää,
We are soon joining the gallery after finishing this hole as we begin our transit back down to the valley where we just left from. Simon is in the middle of the fairway. Throwing another putter shot, another putter anhyzer that trails towards the basket very nicely. He should be able to putt in for his 3 from there. That was a very well executed shot, fired extremely quickly. Simon doesn't wait around very long. We were barely able to catch up with him as he fires in that shot. So this is a left to right trailing tunnel, 152 meters, about 600 feet or so. Slightly less, maybe 570. Guarded by woods on both sides, with the basket sitting at the end of this pathway on top of that hill. We're about 40 meters out. Eirick attempts a jumper from this distance. It's going nicely. He lands inside the circle, just a little short left of the basket, but he should be able to do an easy birdie 3 from that position. Leo Piironen up next. He is sitting 35 meters away from the basket. He opts to go sidearm. That is a very nice approach. He even gets a very friendly kick at the end. He should be about 4 meters maximum, maybe even closer, 3 meters away from the basket currently. And as we're moving forward, we're excited to see where Eagle's crush of a drive landed. He is just inside the 20-meter circle 2, so he has about a 19-meter putt, slightly uphill towards that basket for an Eagle 2. Eagle hits a tree just on the right side of his line, guarding the basket about 3-4 meters in front of it, and gets kicked out of the air. But he has a very routine, easy putt left for a birdie 3. Simon putts in beautifully from just inside 8-meter range from between those two pine trees. That was a very nice looking putt by Simon. Eagle is up next. Eagle cleans up an easy 3 from about 4 meters. Ditto for Eirick, nice birdie. And Leo is left with the final 2-meter cleanup for his birdie 3 here on hole number 12. We're moving to the tee pad of hole number 13. Hole number 13 is a downhill hole through the woods, only 100 meters long, about 350 feet or so. There is a heart-shaped hazard area at the field below us, and the basket is just behind that hazard area. And hazard, as you all know, means that if the players land inside that area, they will continue from where the disc is, but with a 1-stroke penalty. And now we're finally joined with the gallery again, waiting for us down the bottom of that valley. Eagle is first up on the tee, sizing up his options.
Hazard, okay. That's for sure? Yeah, it's a hazard. Okay.
Eagle confirms that the heart-shaped area is indeed hazard and not OB. He is going wide sidearm route down towards the pin. He lands just behind the pin. He is just outside of circle 1, having a fairly open look to the basket. Leo up next. Leo attempts that same wide forehand route. He lands inside circle 1, just outside of that hazard area. Eirick Oakley up next on the tee, lining up a sidearm shot. Eirick goes that same wide sidearm route, dropping in towards the pin, gets a negative skip, but a roll away after that. And he rolls behind those birch trees. Simon is taking a putter shot downhill, starts fading towards the left, catches a little bit of cabbage on the way, and that one is looking to be very, very good. He should be almost parked. We're going down the stretch of hole number 13 here at Sibbe Disc Golf Course. Descending the stairs back to the open area where the gallery is waiting our lead card players already after those 3 sidearm opening shots and Simon's putter shot down the gut. All of our players should be putting for their 2s from where they are at right now. And if you want to see who needs to score their putts and who can happily run it without any risk, you can check out the scoring situation live from udisclive.com. Our players are having discussions with their caddies, hopefully looking at the scores on udisclive.com to also find out if any of the rising stars from the chase card or the third card are actually posing a threat to them. I believe Eirick Oakley to be the furthest from the tee after that unfortunate rollaway. He is about 17 meters out. He cannot connect with the basket with that one, so he'll have to settle for a 3. Eagle up next from about 12, 13 meters or so. Eagle hits front side of the cage just a little too low and fails to put that one in for his birdie. Apparently I missed Eirick's first putt and what happened with that one, because now it seems like he misses again and he looks to be going, it looks like Eirick is have to settle for a bogey on this hole. Leo cans in, he's birdie, easy peasy, no problem whatsoever. Simon is parked. Simon taps in for his birdie from about 3 meters. Eirick clears his putt from also about 3 meters, and if I'm not entirely mistaken, then that was either a par or a bogey for Eirick, but I will have to confirm that. You fortunately can do that from udislive.com. Just put that into your favorite web browser and check out the action here, because it seems as if I did miss one putt on that hole. I am not as of yet certain who or which of our players was the one putting, but we will find out soon enough as we approach the tee pad of hole number 14. Hole 14 starts off with a double mandatory that these players will have to be clearing. The idea of this hole, the basket is on top of that hill. It is guarded by all of those trees. And the basic idea of the hole is just to bite off as much distance as you can while clearing that double mandatory from the tee. Piironen throws his tee shot. He goes far to the left, fades into the field. He should be in the optimal spot to attack the basket from the far left side of those hills you see in front of you. Eagle up next on the tee pad. Eagle fires one out there. It's fading towards the left beautifully. Hits the fairway at almost the exact same spot as Leo just a bit earlier. Eirick attempts to follow suit. He throws a slightly lower line. He is fighting through, he fought through the leaves of those birch trees, finding himself right at the foot of that hill. Simon is trying to go over the top of everything, and he is doing just that. The disc fades back in, but he's still halfway up the hill where the basket is located at. This hole 14 is a par 4 of 180 meters or so, slightly less, where the players are first going slightly uphill through that mandatory among this grassy area. to the bottom of the hill we see before us. And here we have two ways to approach the basket, which is on top of that hill, guarded. There is a tight tunnel on the right side or a more open approach on the far left side. But to reach that sweet spot where Eagle and Leo currently are at, possibly Eagle as well, will require about a 140 meters, so about a 480 shot or so from the tee, which the players here in our lead card just showed how to do. It seems I was in fact fairly confused in the previous hole, so Eirick Oakley did score a par on that previous hole. And Leo is looking up at the basket from just the edge of this ditch. Leo approaches with a sidearm. He manages to dodge that tree, or only gets a slight kick on the right side of that tree to find himself inside circle 1 for his putt for birdie 3 here on hole number 14. Eagle is up next. Eagle chooses to go backhand putter, but he gets caught by that one sticky tree guarding the basket. He is just about circle's edge after that attempt. Eirick Oakley up next, lining up a sidearm shot. Eirick throws sidearm over everything. He dodges that tree and he lands right next to the basket. He's about 3 meters away or so for a putt for his birdie 3. Simon's drive came all the way halfway up this hill, over the top of everything. And now he's trying to find where the basket is. He is 25 meters out of the pin, looking at the pin position high up above his head. He is also denied by that one bush guarding the basket on the short right side. He was attempting to go for it, but he just could not clear the top of that bush, which gripped his disc and stole it out of the air. So he is still looking at a circled edge putt. He hits the flag or the banner on top of the basket from that kneeling putt from just outside circle 1. That is a bad break for Eagle. Simon attempting to do a similar putt. He manages to put it in for his birdie 3 here on hole 14. That was a very nice putt from the knee by Simon Lizotte. Leo Piironen is 6 meters away from the basket long, putting in for his birdie 3. That was a nice birdie by Leo, very well done. And Eirick is also left with a tap in for his birdie from about 2 meters away. There, and with that tap in, as Eagle cleans up his par here on hole 13, Eirick has managed to claw one back up, so now they're only separated by 1 stroke. So Eagle is still in the lead with Eirick trailing by 1 stroke, and some of the players from our chase card are making moves to the top of the leaderboard. I've been told that Niklas Anttila is now sitting tied to the lead with Eagle McMahon, having finished his round at 21 under, where Eagle is currently at. And also Väinö Mäkelä, with 1 more hole to play, is sitting just 1 back, 20 under, tied for 3rd with Eirick Oakley. And leading Leo Piironen by 1 stroke. So we're gonna see what's happening, or we're gonna see what's gonna happen next as we approach the tee pad of hole number 15, which is another downhill hole through a tunnel, trailing from left to right, 105 meters or so, 350 feet through that tunnel, down to that field where the basket is, sitting at the center of that field. There is OB long. There is OB long. The gallery is just standing at the OB line or just behind the OB line. The real danger is if you fade out too early to the left, those trees are kind of grippy. And if you go out to the right, then the hillside declines far right down and will eat up your discs. So you need to stay in the middle to shoot well on this par 3 of 110 meters. Downhill. Leo is first on the box. His shot escapes to the right. He catches the first tree on the right and is left with about 80 meters to go still to the basket, but he is on that hill and he's in the clear. Eirick throws a putter downhill. It's turning to the right. It's turning and it keeps on turning, and we cannot see where it landed, but judging from the reaction of the crowd, it looks to be good. Simon with another putter shot. It kept turning for a while. Now it's trailing back to the left. We still don't see where it goes. But judging from the crowd, it might not be in the best position, but he should still be in the open. Eagle fires one down there. He waits for it to turn.
Great read.
It stays straight, goes slightly long off the basket, but he is still having the best drive of the bunch. He's just shy of the OB long, meaning that he will be looking at a putt from about circle's edge, if not slightly closer. Here on the downhill hole 15. We're walking down as we speak. We're still trying to locate where Leo's disc went. I think Leo's disc was short, but due to the steep downhill, it might be that he might have trailed a little bit further down than it originally looked from the tee, but we're gonna have to wait and see. It seems like the players have indeed located Leo's disc, so he is still about 70 meters, 225 feet, 230 feet away from the pin, but he is in the center fairway. He doesn't look happy. He throws a sidearm flex. It's trailing to the right nicely. He lands just outside circle 1 with that approach, but it looks to be good from that position where he was at. That was a very well executed shot. Leo couldn't see where his shot landed from where he was standing, throwing that approach sidearm of his. So he was asking his caddy if he's good. We know that he is. He is putting from just outside circle 1 for his par 3 here on hole number 15. The gallery is again surrounding the play area as our players are searching for their discs and preparing for their attempts at birdie. Simon from just outside circle 1, he has about 13 meters. Simon goes low. He was trying to accommodate for the wind. He had a slight headwind for that putt, but he overcompensated and threw low. But he's now parked for his 3. Leo has a similar looking shot, 12 meters or so to the headwind. Seems like the wind is turning a little. He hits the cage and he will have to settle for a bogey 4. As soon as I said wind, it started picking up. The wind direction keeps turning a little here around our basket on the green of hole number 15. And the wind is moving in gusts. Eirick from just 11 meters. He hits the top band and falls down. When I say just 11 meters, I meant just about 11 meters, so just about the outside edge of circle 1. And finally, Eagle, who is also just outside. With that beautiful putt directly to the pole from just outside of the circle, Eagle closed that 1 stroke back. He lost to Eirick on that previous hole. Eirick will have to settle for a par, so does Simon, and finally Leo will tap in for his bogey 4 after that little mistake he did on the tee pad of hole number 15. Hole 16 is a straightforward hyzer hole. There is OB on the right side road, there is OB left, and the basket is tucked into the corner where there is OB long, OB right. The real trick on this 100-meter hole is to throw a hyzer shot close to the basket and then look at a putt to the basket that is pinched right next to the OB, very similarly to the basket and the pin placement on hole 1.
I believe so.
We're currently, Eagle is currently now 22 under par, with Eirick Oakley trailing by 2 at 20 under, with Leo at 18 under and Simon 17 under. There is a Mando also on the left side, but that usually never comes into play. That is there for safety reasons only. So So after his birdie on hole 15, Eagle is the first to tee off here at hole number 16. Eagle throws in a soft-looking hyzer, is trailing to the left. It lands just short of the basket. He is in line with the basket, but just short, and he's about inside circle 2, I would say. Eirick Oakley up next. Eirick throws his felon high in the air, waiting for that fade to bring it back inbounds, which it does. He gets a roll, and he should be inside circle 1 with that drive. Simon fires a high hyzer up there on a knife hyzer line, trailing to the left. He's out of bounds on the right side, it seems. We'll have to wait and see once we get closer to his disc. Leo is last on the box. Leo throws a lower hyzer line, looking to go at the basket. He gets a forward skip, but it is not quite long enough to get him an inside the circle putt from there. He is possibly about 15 meters away, so slightly outside of circle 1. Although, as of today, that seems to be the comfort range for Mr. Leo Piironen. He has already putted twice from that 60-foot, 20-meter distance with no problem whatsoever. So it has been, those putts have been pretty amazing to watch. Let's see what he's up to now, because his shot was, as mentioned, left short of the basket to just outside circle's edge. Now the players are checking where the OB line goes and also determining where Simon's lie will be. So the players decide that Simon's going to throw a provisional, and then they are going to check whether he's in or not. He hits chains from 35 meters away. That is about 100 feet or so, a little over 100 feet. That was a very well played provisional, because the players are still waiting to make the final call on whether Simon's drive in fact did go OB or not. Leo up next from that 13-meter mark. He just misses low left, maybe the vicinity of that OB line made him pop a bit softer. Eagle is up next from just inside the circle, 8 meters or so.
Great hit, buddy.
Great hit there by Eagle McMahon to score a birdie here on hole number 16, and this will now take him to solo lead. Eirick Oakley cleans up his beautiful birdie after that great drive, keeping the stroke difference between him and Eagle at that same 2 strokes. Leo Piironen cleans in for his 3, and Simon, if he did go OB, now scored an OB 4, I believe, from hole 16, which would mean a bogey for him, and that would move him a little down on the scoreboard. As you should check into udisclive.com to see how the verdict on that previous hole for Simon in fact went, and also to check out how the other players in these cards that playing the MPO field who have just finished their rounds are currently doing. We're moving along with the gallery. The gallery keeps growing as we go. Now that we're also back in the open, there is so much more space now for the galleries. We're walking to the tee pad of hole number 17, which is also another very picturesque hole here. We're just passing our FPO champion from today. Congratulations. We're waiting for the gallery to give the players some space to reach the tee pad of hole number 17. Hole number 17 is 180-meter par 4, where the tee shot is shot slightly downhill to an open field. There is a mandatory on the right that the players will need to go past from the left side, and the basket is to the far back right corner of this fairway on a mound, and a relatively steep mound at that. If my memory isn't completely off, the distance from the tee to the mandatory line is 130 meters, about 430 feet or so. With 2 more holes to play, Eagle leads by 2 strokes to Eirick Oakley. On second place. Eagle is first on the box. Eagle throws a massive crush down that fairway. That was an awesome rip, an absolute beast of a throw. Yeah, that was about a 140-meter shot. Eirick Oakley tries to mash one in. He's trying to match Eagle's drive, and it's looking to trail real nice. He is left just 5 meters short of where Eagle landed. They are both in prime position for their up shots. Piironen up on the box next. Leo throws in a turnover shot. It's turning right, looking good. It's slightly low, gets a skip. He is just about 20 meters short of where Eagle landed, but still in prime position for an upshot. I was thinking Simon's gonna do something crazy, so he's opting to go for a roller. He needs to dodge that Mando. He is going on the right side of that Mando. 2 meters left, and he probably would have been rolling underneath the basket to repeat what he did on hole 18 during round 1 here in Tyyni 2019, when he scored the only eagle of the day with a roller shot from the tee all the way inside circle 1. Now, unfortunately, he's gonna have to go to the drop zone because of the missed mandatory, and therefore he will be throwing his third shot for par at best. Well, unless of course he can fire that shot in from the drop zone, but that is still about a 65 meter, 240 footer, so it's definitely not a gimme. He still has the chance to salvage par from there though. The hill right behind the basket and on the right side of the basket falls down very quickly. So it is yet another really fast green here on the Sibbe disc golf course. So the danger of the upshots here, as well as the putts in here, are that if you miss your line or if you get a bad break with a rollaway or a bad kick, it is possible that you will be trailing rather far from the pin position. We're following Simon now to the drop zone, where he's waiting to throw his third shot here on hole 17. Which he does. He's trailing in nicely. He's attempting to go for it. He gets a skip on the left side of the basket on top of that hill. He should be inside circle 1 from where his shot landed. Leo Piironen opting to go sidearm. Leo's a bit hot on that approach. He's going long and he gets caught by that rolling hill downwards, and he just keeps on gliding. He is about 30 meters, maybe 25 meters away from the pin. Eirick Oakley following suit with another sidearm shot. He throws it a bit more soft. He lands just about to circle's edge on the left side of the basket.
Good. I think so. 20. Okay. Yeah. Back at it. That's the danger.
Eagle is looking to go putter, backhand putter. And he does. He throws a soft Anheuser approach, waiting for it to glide down, helicopter down. He stays on top of the hill, inside maybe 20 feet, so 7 meters or so. And we'll be putting for 3 from there. The gallery is forming up nicely around us as we're watching the final 2 holes of the MPO lead card battle it out on that final round of Tyyni 2019 here at the Sibbe disc golf course. There's a bit of cloud cover coming up and the wind that is picking up with it. We've just lost the sunshine that we've been enjoying so far during this round. Leo finds himself 15 meters away from the basket, looking uphill from a straddling stance. This is exactly the... No, he just goes a little high, shoots over the basket. He was exactly on line, but he's left with about 4 meters. Simon putts in for his par 4 from just inside the circle. Eagle takes that birdie with authority, with great confidence. He knows he cannot let Eirick, who has the best or the shortest putt left, he knows he cannot let Eirick catch him. Which he doesn't. Eirick hits the low side chains on the left side, and the disc just does not stay in the basket. Therefore, Eirick and Simon and apparently Leo Piironen as well have to settle for a par 4 here on hole 17, while Eagle takes the lone birdie here before we move on to the final hole. Eagle stretches his lead now to 3 strokes over Eirick Oakley. So Eagle now has a 3-stroke advantage over the second place player in the form of Mr. Eirick Oakley here when we're moving down to hole number 18. It is a comfortable lead at this point with only one hole more being played. However, the hole we're now approaching is the infamous hole 18, which is the one single pop-up hole designed only for the Tyyni event here, so it is not part of the normal Sibbe course layout. It is about a 400-foot shot over water to reach the basket, so about 120, 130 meters from the tee to reach the basket. It is a par 3, and these players will be throwing over water on the right side with OB reeds on the left, with OB short, OB long, OB everywhere. It is an L-shaped dogleg right fairway where you will have to be able to throw, or well, you will have to throw a 95-meter shot to clear the OB short, and you will have to be throwing about 105 to reach the grassy area. And then if you want to go all the way across, as these players all are capable of doing, that is an approximately 125 to 130 meter hyzer shot, so that 450-foot hyzer shot. We will probably not be going to the tee with the camera right now. Instead, we will be staying at the corner of the dogleg, because from there we will be able to see the players as well as the OB. And we will also be giving these players some peace and quiet to focus on the final shots that they will be teeing off here on hole number 18 at the Sibbe disc golf course. We'll be moving towards the basket. There is some other media outlets here doing post-production coverage, where this gives us at the same time the opportunity to film the gallery that is here watching the action live. We're happy to have so many people here to enjoy the final round, to come see these top athletes compete, and also we're extremely happy to be able to provide you this live coverage of the final round here on the Sibbe disc golf course, hole number 18. The hole is cleared, which means that our chase cart has also finished their round, so please go check them on udislive.com to see how they did and see how the situation is looking at the top of the field. It seems like Niklas Anttila has just finished his 10 under round, that I believe to be the hot round of the day. Indeed it is. And therefore he has moved himself to tied second place with Eirick Oakley, which means that if Eirick can actually score a birdie on this hole, Eirick will be able to go past Niklas to the second place, lone solo second place. And similarly, Mikael Häme has just finished his round at today's score of 7 under par, bringing him to a total of 20. So he is only trailing Eirick Oakley and Niklas Anttila by 1 shot. Leo Piironen and Simon Lizotte have already fallen behind of our lead and from the podium places. So it is now a two-way battle between Eagle McMahon and Eirick Oakley. With these 3-shot lead that Eagle is enjoying over Eirick right now, Eagle only needs to play this one safe unless he wants to please the crowd. I'm thinking Simon is also looking to do something crazy. Eagle's drive out of the tee box, going towards the pin, trailing left. He has all the distance in the world that he would ever need, and he lands just inside circle 1 with only 5 meters to go to the pin for a birdie 2 and a comfortable win here at the Dynamic Disc Tyyni 2019, presented by Latitude 64. Next up on the tee pad, Eirick Oakley. Eirick needs to do this in order to take that second place. His discs is trailing in beautifully. He just dodges that OB, and he is also 5 meters away from the basket on the right side from the tee. Or on the right side looking from the tee. Leo Piironen third on the box. Leo powers in a really powerful safety shot, but he lands short, and it seems he is out of bounds, and with the line he took, that means he will almost be required to re-tee from that position. Simon Lizotte up next. Let's see what he's up to. He opts not to do anything funny. He just throws a fairly normal hyzer. Hits the fence on the far side. He has gone OB all the way, so he's also looking to re-tee. He almost hit one of the spectators there due to that wide line. So this is Leo, and his third shot going over the water. Now that one has way more power. It's trailing in nicely, gets a skip, rolls out of bounds long. Fortunately though for Leo Piironen, he gets to take his next shot from where the disc went OB, so he will be putting from about 6 meters or so into the basket. Simon Lizotte up next, looking to throw his third shot from the tee after going OB on his first drive. He's taking a similarly wide line. Let's see if it's the same one. And yep, he still goes long, so he will unfortunately, I'm gonna say unfortunately a lot apparently on this hole, because Simon will be now throwing his fifth shot again from the tee. This will drop him down the scoreboard even further, unluckily for Simon. That shot looks to be money. That is spot on as long as it fades in. But he also goes OB long. This time he is going to be continuing from the green though, from just inside, say 7 meters or so. So that was Simon's fifth shot, so he will be putting for 7 from where we are standing right now. Eagle and Eirick are looking very comfortable right now to take that first and second place, but battle for third is still going on. If Leo can score his putt for a double bogey, he is looking to drop down the scoreboard to shared 12, shared position 12, and Simon is looking at 7 at best, which would then move him to a total of 12 under, which would make him tied 22nd or 23rd only on this field. It seems like Niklas Anttila will be our third place finisher today, coming from I believe the third card, shooting the hot round -10 today. The players are still debating the scores, or the players are actually trying to see where Simon's discs went. He's getting his discs back. We're here to witness the final putts of the Dynamic Discs Tyyni tournament.
No, I like skipped here and it rolled. I think. Okay. Right? Yeah. Right here? One, two, three, 4, 5. 20 for 9? 7. Wait, I can't do math. 1, 7. Oh yeah, 7.
Simon puts in from about 7 meters for He is a quadruple bogey 7 on this hole, but he seems fairly upbeat despite that. Leo cuts in from 6 meters for his double bogey 5. Eirick puts in from 5 meters to get that solo second place with a score of 22 under. And Eagle for the win with a very nice margin of 4 strokes over Eirick Oakley to take the title of champion as expected here in the Dynamic Discs Tyyni 2019 presented by Latitude 64.
Tyyni 2019 champion Eagle McMahon.
Very good job, Eagle. Very, very well done. Congratulations. Congratulations, buddy.
Thanks, guys. Kiitos.
Would you be up to say a couple of words, Eagle?
Yeah, for sure. Let me total the scorecard.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're going to still be here in the broadcast for a little while the players are tallying their scores. After they've returned their scorecards as per the rules, we're going to have a small chat with our champion, Eagle McMahon, and I'm hoping that we'll be able to talk with our FPO champion, Jenni Eskelinen, also a bit later today. At latest, together with Terry Miller, the disc golf guy, as we're doing our final nightly recap of the Tyyni 19 later today. So remember to look up his YouTube channel as well, the disc golf guy, and we will be there doing the nightly recap, talk show, whatever you want to call it, this evening after the award ceremony has concluded. We're still waiting for the players to tally their scores, to count them, and to return their scorecards to the TD here. We're seeing Terry is already busy there, wanting to get an interview of Eagle of his own. And then I'm also hoping to maybe catch a word or two with Eirick Oakley walking past us and to congratulate him in person for that second place. I'm also hoping that we will still today get a chance to talk with Nate Perkins and James Conrad to listen to their views on how they liked the action today and how they like to see their fellow competitors perform today out here at the Sibbe Disc Golf Course. So Eagle McMahon is our champion for 2019 here at Tyyni with a total score of 25 strokes under par after 3 rounds. So a shared hot round of -10 today, together with our third place finisher by the name of Niklas Anttila from Finland. So they're both shooting the hot rounds of the day with -10, so going 10 under par here at the Sibbe Disc Golf Course. Excellent work by these players. Eirick Oakley is not far behind, shooting a -8. He is actually sharing the second hottest round of the day with 3 other players, Eirick Oakley, Jonas Aalto, Samuel Stenman, and Lauri Lehtinen. I happen to know that Jonas Aalto, Samuel Stenman, and Lauri Lehtinen were all playing in the same card today together with Mr. Janne Hirsimäki, so I'm guessing he has spurred these kids on to shoot a fairly nice score out here at Sibbe with their -8 today. Mikael Häme, Linus Karlsson, Jonathan Häme, Oskari Wikström played 7 under today, and our more familiar names by Silver Lätt, Albert Tam, Joona Heinänen, Väinö Mäkelä, etc. were not shooting that well with -4. Leo Piironen has to settle only for a -2 together with Teemu Nissinen shooting a -2. And you can see all of these scores, daily scores, complete scores, total scores. Just go on udisclive.com. So, Eagle, congratulations. We were talking already on the first day at Nevas when you were starting this, and you said you were feeling kind of confident, kind of strong. How do you feel now?
I feel really good. This is a bit of a surprise considering I had to drop out of my last tournament due to a shoulder injury, and just to be standing here right now, finished with the tournament, is a win in of itself, and to be in first place after that just that makes me really happy, because this whole tournament I was really focused on not throwing hard and just kind of playing very smooth. And luckily, the other parts of my game feel like they picked up. Inside the circle putting felt incredibly strong this event, which I think ultimately what led me to victory.
Yeah, that is also what the stats are suggesting. So, you know, us stats people together with the UDIS guys, we will be following you also very closely. Personally, I would like to congratulate you. It's been so much fun watching you play all of these 3 rounds. Congratulations to the champion. I know you're a busy man. I know you need to be off to do your cooling routine with Disc Golf Strong and Seth. So I'm going to let you to it just one more time. Very much congratulations on this achievement. Is there still one more thing you would like to say to the gallery out here?
You guys are awesome. Finland's amazing. You don't get crowds like this anywhere else in the world, and it's always a pleasure to be here. And thank you, Juha, for putting on a great event.
Thank you, Eagle. Congratulations once more. Now go meet the crowd. Go do your cool down. Thank you.
I appreciate it.
So that was our champion, Eagle McMahon. He's now chatting with the event director, Juha, and we will be seeing Eagle later today in the award ceremony, where we will be giving him these beautiful, beautiful trophies that have been now custom made for the Tyyni event today. Thank you for tuning us. Thank you for tuning us with us here on this live coverage. It's been a pleasure to have you on board. It's been very, very nice to be able to bring you this live coverage all 3 days so far. Thanks for commenting. Thanks for the company. And remember to tune in also to the nightly recap later today with Terry Miller, the disc golf guy. My name is Tuomas Suominen. I've been your commentator for this event, all 3 rounds, both for the MPO and the FPO. It's been a great pleasure. And then finally, I would like to meet the most important guy in bringing you this live coverage, my real good friend, Jani here. We have been this close for all of these 3 rounds because the cord of the microphone is not very long. So thank you. Thanks, Jani, for being the cameraman this entire time. And thank you for joining with us. I will see you next time, next year. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Thomas.
Except we're going to do this now.
Yeah. Don't leave hanging.
Don't leave him hanging.
Simon, I'm here. You're his favorite. I'm your favorite fan.